La vie est là, qui vous prend par le bras, oh là là là, c'est magnifique. Des jours tout bleus, des baisers lumineux.
Today is a glaze day, or at least part of the day, because all these little guys came out of my kiln, amongst a lot of other things that I have to start glazing. Thank you for watching. Today we're going to glaze as much as I can. I'll try, because I also have lots of other things to do. But anyway, so what am I going to glaze? I'm going to glaze these funny guys. And I made some more worms. Lots of people are making worms right now. I actually started making these worms last year because I saw on Collie Pit Pottery that she made worms, and I saw pictures on her Facebook, and I so liked them, so I started making them. And so I made kind of a new variation as well, with a little casket, a little cap. And I thought these hairs were quite cute as well. So yeah, but basically all inspired by Collie Pit Pottery, and I really love what she does. But before I glaze them, I'm putting on some wash. These MAYCO washes, I have this one, which is a iron wash. And I have a manganese wash by MAYCO. So these are little pots, but they last a long time because you really have to dilute them a lot. At least I do. Don't know if you have to, but I do. Makes it easier to wash it back down. And what I'm also going to do is put iron wash on these flowers. And actually I will put the manganese wash on these flowers, because I noticed with the last batch of flowers that I made, I first put on the manganese wash, and then I glazed them with a Celadon glaze. This is actually a Bots glaze, it's a German brand. And here as well. And I made this one. And what I like about that is that it gives them kind of an antique look. So I do both without the manganese wash, with just bright colors. But this was the first time I used a manganese wash. And I don't know if you can see that good, but it really looks nice. The way that came out, and also in the white. Yeah, I like that really old or antique look. So that's what I'm going to do again. And for the worms and the hairs, I use an iron wash and wipe that then back. So I always put a little bit of water in a pot. And of course I forgot my brushes. And then with a brush, I'll put some manganese wash in here. I'll pause it and I get a brush. So here we go. Some manganese wash. I dip it in there, put it in the water, and you see how red it gets. So just to be sure, I might put in just a little more. Up. So we're going to test on this one. And I do this, of course, by my sink for ease. So I wipe it all over. You see how red it gets. Up in the mouth. I will put black in the eyes and the nose holes. And here, so up, put it all over. There. So, that's number one. Then I'm gonna take a sponge with a green pad and we're gonna test. See if I didn't make it too liquidy. I think we'll be okay. And then I just run the water slowly. And then I brush it off. So I think the consistency, the watery consistency is okay. It takes a while to wipe it all down. Well, anyway, this is how I do it. Maybe you have a better way of doing it, so you can let me know in the comments. So, I don't know of another way yet. So, and so all the, where I carved it in, all that stays colored, and the face a little bit too. And you just take off as much as you want, or leave on as much as you want too. I also have an old toothbrush that I can use if I think the face is too reddish. But I think we're good to go. I think that one's okay. Okay, up, and I set them back to dry. Oh yeah, what I can tell you as well, so on my worms, I don't make a pointy thing to stick in the dirt. Because actually I didn't know how she did it until I saw the tutorial that she did recently. So what I did is I just made a hole in the bottom, and then I cut these iron rods, which is really building iron rods. They put this in the concrete, and so it's cheap, and you just have to have the machine to cut them though, so that could be kind of a nuisance. But this is how I do it. And then that just goes in, and this goes real easy in a hard ground. You can actually first put these in with a hammer, or they really go easy in your plant pots, and hop, there you have it. So I'm gonna go to the next one. Jeanette Stevens, she's another famous pottery YouTuber. Now, she also does worms now. She made some cute ones. She made two worms that are entangled, boyfriend and girlfriend. Also very cute. Okay, I'm gonna clean this one. And I have them in the store in Bayonne, and everybody likes them. They sell good. But I'm gonna keep some for myself. So, on the drying rack she goes, or he. There. Now we're going to do this one. Yeah, that's okay, and brown. So this one, I gave her a little scarf. So this was the last worm on which I put the iron wash. And now if you think it's all getting a little too red or on a difficult spot where you would like to take some off, I also have this little brush. And that really gets in all the spots where you want to have less wash. So we're gonna go and move on to the flowers. I don't know if you can see them. So that's it. These funny creatures. Okay. So I'm gonna let them dry till tonight. And basically it's the same as I did with the iron wash. I do the same with the manganese wash. Tiny little bit of water in a glass jar. I drip my paintbrush in there 2 times. So this is the manganese wash. Okay, and we're going to try it on the first flower. I cover it all over with the manganese wash. And then I wipe it back with a damp sponge. Like this. Put my glasses on to see if I don't think it's too much black, but actually, you know what? I'm gonna leave it like that. It's gonna come out beautiful one way or another. So actually, all these flowers, I forgot to mention it, when I slab build fish or birds, I there's a lot of clay left, a lot of slab left. So I roll the slab really thin, as you can see. And then with cookie cutters, I make these flowers, and then I do several layers. I have several sizes of cookie cutters, although this one, it's 2 the same size, and then a smaller size, and then just the heart, I make a little ball and poke little holes in it. And then on the bottom, there's a hole. And then again, in my case, what I do is I stick them in the garden, and I use these iron rods. So I make the hole big enough so that an iron rod can stick in it. So, but you can do whatever you want, but that's how I do it, because then they last. And I glue them on with special glue, 2 components glue that you mix, and you can't get them back off, huh? They really stick well. So that's what I do. So all of these are done with cookie cutters. And it's a really quick and easy way to use up your leftover clay. And Either you keep them yourself or you sell them. I use them in my vegetable garden, as I showed a couple of videos back. But I'll show you again. And but yeah, just in planters, they look nice. They look nice in pots. So in summer, when your flowers aren't blooming anymore, you got these. I must say though, the manganese wash washes off a lot easier than the iron wash, I'm under the impression. Unless it's a different kind of clay. Maybe this clay has more grog. Not sure. But it just seems to me like that. It washes off way easier than the manganese wash really washes off easier than the iron wash, in my opinion. You do have to be careful though when you're cleaning with a green pad, because even though they're bisque fired, because I make them really thin, they're still very fragile, and I just broke a paddle off. But I think I'm gonna glaze it anyway, and hopefully because it's, I just put some glaze on the bottom and here, and hopefully it'll just glaze. It'll just glue shut with the glaze. No big deal, really. Hi everyone. So yesterday I started glazing the flowers, which I didn't film. I've gotten this far, not that far. Yesterday it got a little late and I started to get tired, so I didn't finish. And I'm going to continue today. So far this is it, and I have to cover them with a clear glaze. This one I still have to finish. And then I start with my funny creatures over here, these funny worms. And what I did also was I made this mug. I hand built it because I don't throw, because I broke my mug last week. And so I made myself another mug, and so I put these underglazes on there while it was leather hard, and so all different colors of underglazes, and then wiggly black lines, a little heart here. So and then I bisque fired it along with all this other stuff. So the idea is I'm going to put a clear glaze on the bottom, and then here I want to do some, don't know what color yet, some probably either pinkish or, well, I'll see. You'll see it when it gets out. And with some flux so that I get some runners down this part, and I think it'll look really nice. So that I have to do. And then yesterday I finally got my Spectrum running hot chowder glaze. And I've been wanting this forever because I really like that frozen pond technique that everybody's been doing. But I just couldn't get the Spectrum running hot chowder glaze in France, or in Europe for that matter. Germany, they were out of stock. France, they didn't even have it listed. So I finally ended up buying this in England at Scarva Pottery. So I was so happy. And I immediately bought 2 pots and some other cool Spectrum glazes that I couldn't find here, and they shipped it to France, which is really cool, and it came here within a week actually, so pretty fast. So and the prices were interesting too. So I'll be ordering more things from them in the future, and they gave me all kinds of exciting documentation about Scarva. I guess that's their own brand. Kroll, Scarva Kroll, and then they have their own Celadon glazes. So I might test some of their glazes the next time, see how they work. And so really happy with that. So I'm going to glaze some furniture pieces with the frozen pond technique. And when that's done, of course, I'll show you when it gets out. And apply it on the furniture, hopefully. Oh, I see a piece of my... the heart of the flower. I'll have to do that again. The underglaze popped off. Okay, oh well, that happens. So yeah, I'm gonna continue glazing, and the next time you see these pieces, they will probably be ready and coming out of the kiln. Okay, bye for now. Sunday morning, it's time for my Sunday hike. Today we are in Saint-Barthélemy, which is about 10-minute drive from my house. And we're going to start walking. Hope I can show you some nice video footage from this hike. And a picture of the new Pope. Now you can see the mountains a little bit, the Pyrenees. Usually, when the weather is really good, you really have a beautiful view of the whole Pyrenean chain, or part of the Pyrenean chain. Very peaceful here on this Sunday morning. And I could imagine that the priest used to live here, and maybe still does. thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and that you enjoyed the birds singing so beautifully. Now if you like this video, please subscribe and or give me a thumbs up. Thanks. See you next time.